to represent the church and tuck drinks and stuff, just to let y'all know that we stopped by and visit with him last night. And he asked me last night, he said, if anything happens, can you take care of the service in the morning? I said, sure. so it's going to be short and sweet this morning, I promise you. But, y'all just be in prayer for him. This is a hard time right now for anybody that's lost a parent or a loved one. It is really a hard time to deal with. So y'all be in prayer for them as, they go through this. Also is just to give you an update on something else, we have to have a water line fixed in the parsonage. Nathan has took care of that for us. The man's going to be here tomorrow morning to fix it. So what happened, a water line busted between the main line and the kitchen. So it's going to cost about roughly $600 to fix it. So, but that's being took care of. Just to give you an update on that. Also, is there any other announcements we need to do? Oh, yeah. In the morning, our church is going to be doing the Meals on Wheels. We're going to be delivering meals. It's over in Gaffney somewhere. I can't remember exactly. But I think it's 22 or 23 meals that we're going to be delivering in the morning. Several's going to help with that. Thanks to Brittany, she went and picked up our plates and stuff that we have to deal with. I know Crystal's going to help cook. We're going to help cook, and then we're going to deliver the meals. So I think we got some of the youth that's going to even help with that. So just let you know on that. Is there anything else? Bible study on Monday night. Who's going to do it this week? You back at it with your series? Sure. Okay, Nathan's doing a series on John. Matter of fact, our message this morning is going to come out of John. If you want to get ready for it, it's going to be in John 11. Please come on Monday nights. It's not, a lot of people are scared to come to a Bible study because they like, I'm going to be called on to breed, or I'm going to be called on to do. You're not. We have, well, you have to be leading, and we got to know the whole Bible, but yeah, please, just show up. It is a lot of fun. There's always, somebody brings food from somewhere. We always got pork skins or something, candy or something. It's a lot of fun just to sit around and discuss the Bible. You'll learn a lot because last week we had 50 questions. And guess what? Every one of us missed something. So it's not like you're going to, you're not the only one missing. Even the best of us miss it, So please come and join us for a Bible study. It is a lot of fun to come and do and just sit around and talk and pray for each other. That's the main thing. Is there anything else that we need to know about? Anything at all? If not, Mr. Ken, will you open us up in prayer this morning?
Most kindly, Heavenly Father, thank you for another Sunday morning.
Y'all will stand and praise with me. I want to dance like David. I want a faith like Paul. I want to sing like Silas, tearing down those prison walls. I want to face that fire. It won't burn me though. God's got my back, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. I want to walk like Moses, right through the waves. One day I'll see that promised land, no longer slaves. Though the fear is talking, no, it can't take out my faith. I'm gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise, I'm gonna praise. I praise the heaven seated, undefeated, highest of names. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. I want a gift like Mary. I want to break my vase. I want to sleep like Daniel, even in a lion's cave. I'm going to give that promise, just like Jericho. Yeah, I know what'll make it fall. I'm going to praise. I'm going to praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise. I'm gonna praise. I praise the heaven seated, undefeated, highest of names. That's who I praise. Hey, I praise the God who's proven he can do impossible things. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. Is the Lion of Judah. He is the Lamb that was slain, the only one who's worthy, worthy, worthy of all of his names. That's who I praise. He is the risen Messiah. He is the Ancient of Days, the only one who's worthy, worthy, worthy of all of his names. That's who I praise. So I'm gonna praise. I praise the mountain moving, body raising, breaker of chains. Gonna praise. I'm gonna praise. I praise the heaven seated, undefeated, highest of names. That's who I praise. Hey, I praise the God who's proven he can do impossible things. That's who I praise. Hey, that's who I praise. That's who I praise. That's who I praise. That's who I praise. I want to love like Jesus, that kind of grace. I want to live like I've got no more precious time to waste. I'm gonna give him glory with all my things. There's no greater, stronger, higher name, and that's who I praise. Y'all can be seated.
Finding the things you and your family need to be well is kind of
and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me, and take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. I will call upon and keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
I forgot to say this. Chris, his mother had been in the hospital last week. I didn't know at the time. And I guess it was Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, B called me and told me that the ambulance was at their house. So y'all be in prayer for them too. She's had blood clots, and so everybody leaving on me. Don't you look at me.
I have some notes I want to pass out to people. 3 notes.
Well, take it back over to them, okay? Take it to Miss Beverly, okay?
Notes I want to pass out to
All right. Okay. But yeah, y'all be in prayer for Chris too. This morning we're gonna be in John 11. For y'all that don't know, I served under Pastor Michael Bradley when I was ordained to be a deacon, and well, his theory was his deacons better be ready to have a message when they walk through the back door, because you never knew when he was going to tell you, get up there and do it today. And so, I mentioned that when the new deacons were sworn in, y'all need to be ready in case the pastor has to, have to be somewhere. But the question I got for you this morning is, why is this church not full? Or why is every church in America not full? And there's many reasons. There's a lot of hurt feelings. There's a lot of people that talk about the church. You can always criticize the church when you can't criticize nothing else. You can always blame God for your problems. But is it really God's fault that you're having these problems? And a lot of things go on in churches. People get mad at the pastor. People get mad at somebody in the church. They will argue over who's going to make the chili. I have been in a church where that went on one night, and I was like, people, can we not have something better to talk about? So I've seen arguments over what color tile to put in the church. I've seen over what color pews they want. And it's like, there's more important things in life than arguing over this. The church could be full, but we want to blame people for it. And we shouldn't be blaming people for it. But in John, we see that Lazarus died. And if we go down to John 11, and I can't see without my glasses, even though my phone's got letters big enough for anybody. And when Lazarus' sister Martha come up to Jesus, she told him, she said, why wasn't you here? But he was there. It just wasn't where she was at. And she said, if you would have been here, my brother wouldn't have died. Yeah, her brother would have died anyway, no matter what. It was his time to die. But his death was a death to prove a point to the people, to show them the Father God. It wasn't a death just for him to die with no meaning whatsoever. Because if we go on down, we'll see where Jesus even wept when he found out Lazarus died, which proved that Jesus was not only God, he was a man too. He wept. And it didn't say he cried. There's a difference between crying. A baby cries. We've heard this baby, we've heard him one time cry. We ain't heard him cry much, but he didn't cry. He wept. That means that come from his soul that he wept. And, a lot of times when we lose somebody, we wept. We don't cry because we love that person so much. It's a different cry, just like a different love. I love y'all to death. I do. Every one of y'all, I love you to death. But I love my wife totally different. There is a love that I have for my wife that I don't have even for my children. I love my children to death, but I love my wife to a point that the thought of losing her just drives me wild because I'm the world's worst. I'm bad about worrying about things. And there's a difference love there. But Jesus loved Lazarus. He wept when Lazarus died. So we go on that, even though they had seen the miracles that Jesus had performed, they had all seen these miracles, she still blamed Jesus for her brother dying. And it had nothing to do with her. It had to do with Jesus had a point to make to all the other people that was fixing to see what he was getting ready to do. Because when he went to the tomb, he asked him, he said, where did you lay him? He didn't have to ask him where he knew where they laid him at. That's the whole thing about it. And so when they go on and they take him to where they had laid him at, and he told them, he said, take away the stone. And here they still had no faith in Jesus. Because if you'll listen to what they said, Lord, by this time he will smell. He's been dead for 4 days. Why did Jesus leave him there for 4 days? If you'll go back and look at the Jewish customs, if he only left him for 3 days, then they would have said he'd have been asleep. Because I guess back then you could sleep for 3 days. But he left him for the 4 days so that he could prove that he was dead. And so if you'll read right here, and Jesus said in 40, did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? See, that was the whole point that Jesus left Lazarus in the tomb, was he wanted everyone to see the glory of God, what he was fixing to do. And, sometimes We don't take the time to wait on the glory of God. We want it now because we're in the new age of. I asked Brianna last night, and I said, what's this new chat GBT, whatever it is? She said, you can ask it anything. So this morning, I just thought, well, why don't I ask them why people don't go to church? And it gives you every answer why people don't go to church. They don't feel comfortable. They don't feel this. They don't feel that. You know, I've heard some of the strangest things. Well, people didn't speak to me. I hope nobody ever walks through this church door and somebody in here don't speak to them. I hope everybody feels comfortable when they come through this church. Back when we was starting a breakout church, we was visiting, and there was a young man that we visited with, and we invited him to church, and he shows up at church, and he says, y'all told me to come how I was. We was like, sure. He said, but when I show up, y'all all dressed up. I don't have nothing to dress up in. From that day forward, I mean, I got suits at home. You know, they tell you I got all kind of clothes at home. And I was like, you know, that's true. He didn't feel welcome when he walked in, when everybody was sitting. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wearing a suit and a tie and anything like that. If that's what you feel comfortable with, you wear that. But if you're going to go visiting in that suit and tie. If you're going to go visiting the way y'all normally see me in shorts and T-shirts, then go visit. But when that person you invited, be sitting there in the same way. Because I don't believe there's no sacred tie or suit that's going to get you into heaven. I believe what's going to get you in your heaven is the trust of God yourself. And it really, you know, people wants to feel comfortable when they come into this church. And that's not to say that, you know, you can't come any way you want. Because we got people sitting back there can tell you we've had drug addicts, we've had prostitutes, homosexuals, you name it. They walked in our church and they was welcomed with everything we had. We've watched them die from drug overdoses, from one of them, he just couldn't get away from homosexuals. And he died of AIDS. And, you know, we tried everything. I know for a fact we tried everything to help this boy. Put him in motels, put him in houses, put him in rehab. You name it, we tried. But there's some people, you just hope they got that little mustard seed sown in their system so they could believe. But, you know, it didn't. But we go on down. One of the greatest things about the Lazarus story is when Jesus cried out. He cried out, Lazarus, come out. And a lot of people was like, why did he call Lazarus? Because if he had said, because he was in a graveyard at this time, if he had said, come out, everybody in that graveyard would have rose from the dead. That's how powerful he was. And when Lazarus come out, the greatest thing that Jesus said, I believe, was he told them to unbind him. And that's what he does when we come and give our life to Christ. He says, unbind him. You're a new man when you come to Christ. You're unbound. All of your sins, all of your bad doings, the alcohol, the drugs, it's gone. Is it going to be easy? No. Believe me, once you give your life to Christ, the devil's going to tear you apart. He will throw everything that he can at you when you give your life to Christ. There's nothing he won't do. He'll take your family. He will take everything. and try to turn it against you. Believe me, I've seen it happen time and time again. Everybody say, well, you'll come up here and you'll give your life to the Lord, and you walk out that door and you on fire. Well, guess what? Monday morning comes around and your old friends are there. And they don't want that new one. They want that old one that partied with them, that drank with them, that chased the women, that done all the other things. That's the one they want. They don't know about this new you. They see this old you. And you have to set the example for it. Believe me, it is a hard life when you become a Christian, because the world is totally against you. Everything. The TV, the telephone is the worst thing in the world, but we can't live without it, I promise you. One of these days we're going to wake up and there ain't going to be no internet service, and we really going to be in for it. We'll be killing each other in the streets because we can't watch something on the telephone. But, and that's sad to say, but it's true. I mean, you imagine waking, how many years ago was it when COVID hit? 5 years ago. Look, I drive for Walmart. Some of y'all, all y'all know I drive for Walmart. When they told people we didn't have toilet paper, they went nuts over it. I mean, as a truck driver, they would be waiting on us when we pulled in the store to ask. And we have no idea what's on our trucks, so don't ever think we know what's on our trucks. But they would be asking, do you have, and I'm like, I don't know what's on this truck. We don't never get to see what's on trucks. So, just imagine that. So just imagine how addicted we are to telephones. Most of us can't go 10 minutes without picking it up. Let me see what my kids are doing. Let me see what my, this are doing, that's doing. You constantly on your phone. And sometimes this is what takes us away from church. That is a lot of things that happens. So, but to unbind him, let him go. When you give your life to Christ, that's what he says, unbind him. He's mine now. And, we all need to really work on that. If you know somebody that's lost, I work with some boys and, they tell me, they say, you know more useless stuff than anybody I know, because it's just like I know a lot of useless information. And sometimes I get the opportunity to share God with them. It's not often, because you can't push it on somebody. You have to wait to that opportunity. And I get to do it a lot. And just hopefully I sow enough seed in there. I'm not perfect by no means. I'm not. I'm just a normal human being that makes mistakes. I fail. I'm not in no means perfect. But if you'll ask me about God, I'm going to tell you about him. If I get the opportunity, I'll tell you about him. And I've got the opportunity to tell my buddy many a times, and he'll go, well, that's just hard to believe. Yeah, it is for somebody that don't believe. So you just have to keep working on that. That is all I have for you today. I hope that it wasn't nothing misleading. I hope I didn't say anything that's going to mislead anybody, or because I am not no pastor, I'll tell you anybody that. But if I get the opportunity to speak to you, I will. If any of y'all don't know, you can get in touch with me anytime y'all need to. If you don't have my phone number, you can always call my wife. She'll tell me, or either she'll give it to you or I'll give it to you. It don't matter. But everybody's like, well, he's gone all the time. Yeah, I'm gone, but if you need me, I'll be there. Because me and Nathan has talked several times this week, different things, taking care of problems that, that if one can't take care of it, we'll take care of it together. So if there's anything we can do, But remember our pastor and his family as they go through this time, because it is a hard time to do. Is there anything else anybody's got before we close? Anything at all? Brittany, you ain't got no tomatoes to throw at me or anything? Okay. But thank y'all again for everything y'all do. It's nice to have people that you can call and go, look, can somebody run and do this? Because, you know, it's different now, and you need people, you know. And we thank y'all for everything y'all do and everything. I mean, if anybody needs us, please just call. Just let us know. If there's nothing else, Tim, you mind dismissing us, bud?